my whole organization will follow XYZ standard of AI. Because again, AI will work on different standards. Different countries will have their own standards. There have been paper coming up from NIST, from DoD. Are you going to? You have done that. That's the next year target. Please don't forget, every single company by end of next year may have what is called as quantum computing computer, because it is the thing which you are going to expect. So have you tweaked your InfoSec policies which talks about quantum computers? Why I'm saying this? Because it is likely that your quantum computers may not respect encryption. Encryption can be broken. So have you mapped this risk vis-a-vis, quantum computing vis-a-vis the encryption algorithm which is implemented in your organization? This is required for the next year. So whenever you have disruptive technology, all this needs to be seen. Have you made any policy regards to BYOD? Everybody is aware of BYOD? Bring your own device. So day before yesterday, I was talking to a very large conglomerate in India, large business group, and they have hired us, and asking them, do you have a BYOD? This is some part we have BYOD. So did I ask them, do you have BYOD policy? He said, we have policy, but only from cost saving point of view. Because BYOD is that, right? I asked them, do you have that policy made from legal risk point of view? Because they are going to see, now what is legal risk? So usme kya legal risk hai? Employees, grown up child, downloads porn on it, on a laptop which is he using on official networks, okay, right? He is using official IP address, right? And he downloads a child porn, right? Now the IP address is the evidence now considered the evidence in Indian judicial system. When we argue in High Court, my justice will only ask, IP address मिला क्या? उसके नाम का है? हमको इतना हाँ मिला. Bail rejected. Okay, ये अभी मैं कल परसों में किया मैंने. जो again a revenge porn case, and the boy had done all those photographs of that his own girlfriend, and then she only asked, IP address मिला? Yes, IP address बच्चे का ही है. Reject. Okay. Now if you ask, if I'm on the other side and you want me to argue, then I can argue before the court that IP address is not the only evidence. Okay. But we'll go by the culture, right? So agar IP address is found of your organization, for downloading porn, number one, downloading MP3 songs, downloading or harboring some botnet or malware. Okay. So whoever's IP address is, he is bearing the legal risk. So in such cases, have you transferred the legal risk to the employee? Have you indemnified yourself? The majority of this case was no. Why I'm bringing this example? Because this is a very live example what I'm trying to tell you. It's a very big group. I don't want to take a name. Okay. Obviously, we not received first check also. So we don't want to take the name. But it's a big group. Okay. So if this is the case with such big group, okay, now you imagine small companies, BYOD is such a pain. So these are all risks. Now we are carrying only mobile phones. Everybody has that, right? So by default there is a BYOD somewhat existing, whether you have policy or no policy. There is a BYOD existing. Just wait towards next year ending, or we may be carrying those pocket drones with us. For what? For taking photographs. As simple as this. Because the drones are going to cost very less. And drone photography is good photography. So you want to do it. Some nut will obviously carry this. And then there is size of that drone. Small drone, put it up, take photographs. Okay. India is not come in drone manufacturing, but it's not too far. when the parts go small, we can really do it. It can be easily smuggled. Okay, so all this, when we're having disruptive technology, legal aspects are going to percolate, and you need to account for this. Okay, in yesterday's conference, I was speaking before CISOs. They were CISO, your project managers. So they were asking me, what is our risk? I said CISOs ideally should keep anticipatory bails in their pockets, because some CISOs is Chief Information Security Officers. Why? Because some of the employees does something wrong, and CISO has become a statutory position. Police will first come, because that वो employee तो छोड़ के चला गया, अभी बचा कौन? Okay, so the amount of risk what he is carrying. So the whole discussion में ये निकला कि should CISO have a private legal executive for him? because इतना risk है ना उसके लिए, मतलब कल कुछ हुआ तो बचाओ. Okay, so I had suggested one is private legal executive who is the employee of the company, and one some PR expert outside who is on the roles but as an advisor. So all these things are getting dynamic. Now next year, what you should be ready for? India is fast embracing data privacy law. So all your projects, whatever you draw, if you don't take care of privacy, your projects can straight away go to dogs, or you will expose your organization to a huge financial risk. I am not talking only about GDPR implications. I am talking about Indian Data Privacy Act, which is bound to come. Privacy Protection Bill 2013 is there with Parliament from 2013, 2012 onwards. But now we have got serious European people after us. We have drafted, I was also in the committee, we have drafted this law, which is again getting reviewed, because it's politics. So it's getting reviewed. But basic thing is the consensus is there. Justice AP Shah Committee's report is also there. Okay, so in all the deliberations, majority of the deliberations I was there. Data privacy law, when it comes, it also has two liabilities, criminal as well as civil. What is criminal liability? The best example is Zomato. Everybody has heard about that Zomato data leak. Zomato is a popular foodie app. It had leaked, its data got leaked once. 3 months before, its data got leaked again. Now what does Zomato had? You will say, what does Zomato, the food app है, उसमें खाने का details है, what you eat, when you eat, what time you eat, okay, from which places you order, and it's not you only order when you're in a house, right? You go to a friend's place, you order. So that means it is a marker at this day, this place, you are at the friend's place. Okay, this is. Then many a times you order via net banking, you order via credit cards. So a lot of data was in the, and Zomato did it in spite of telling them that this was a loophole here. Okay. The same case, if it happens after the Privacy Protection Bill is passed, I want to leave you with two scenarios. One, there will be jail term for the privacy leader, whoever is in the organization. Okay. Two, there will be compensation needs to be paid. Now imagine Zomato mein what happened? There are thousands of users. So India now has option of class action suits. Like in US, heard about class action suits? I'll just give you a snippet. What is class action suits? So, example of Zomato. The moment I'm a Zomato customer, okay, my data is leaked. I'm enraged. What I do is, I go and file case against Zomato for suppose 10 crores. Okay. Class action suit means same class of people who feel their data is leaked, they can unite the suit and file against the company. In India, free का माल सब लोग आएगा. मैं फोन करके बोलेगा 10 लोगों को मैं 10 करोड़, अच्छा मेरा भी 10 करोड़ डालो, मेरे को तो नाम और साइन ही लेना है. ओके, सो ऐसा 10 करोड़ करके कंपनी के डायरेक्टर सब रास्ते पे. Organizations have closed down in US, right, because of class action suits. इंडिया में अंडर कंपनी लॉ दिस प्रोविजन इज देयर. अभी तक इट इज नॉट बीन यूज्ड, बट दैट्स नॉट द एंड केस, राइट? वो कल भी यूज हो सकता है, परसों भी यूज हो सकता है. प्रोविजन इज देयर कंपनी लॉ. नया द न्यू कंपनी लॉ में देयर इज अ प्रोविजन. Okay, then there is another provision in commercial courts. The provision come. This is just 3-4 years पुराना है ना अपने के लिए. The law getting matured. See, IT Act, the cyber law of the country has come in 2000. IT Act 2000 है ना, 2001 में आया. We are 2017. 16 साल 17 साल हो गया. Yet some senior people come and ask me, इंडिया में cyber law है क्या? Awareness नहीं है ना. It's just, there is no awareness. But why common man would like to know? Many people don't even get aware कि बैंक वालों ने आपका डेटा चुराया. So is that crime? Giving you an example. Let me know the time.
20 minutes.
So people are not aware. Like I'm going to give an example. This is a Citibank's case. Citibank, there was an HNI customer, okay, a high net worth individual customer in Delhi. He was a client of Citi Cards, not Citibank. Citibank customer care or whatever, the marketing guy calls him and says, "Sir, you are our HNI client and we called you for marketing this products and we need your account." First thing he asks the person is, who gave you my number? Who told you that I am Citi Cards? And who told you what my limits are? He says, we are both same company. He says, no, you are not two same companies. Citi Cards Limited and Citibank Limited. ICICI Bank Limited, ICICI Lombard Limited, ICICI Prudential Limited, they are all three different legal entities. Three different entities, three different companies. Nobody can claim that the data which you gave to ICICI Bank should go to ICICI Lombard. If it is going, then take this case. In this case, this HNI filed a case against Citibank in consumer forum and he got 25 lakhs in respite because his data was shared without his permission. Okay? Yes. Section 43 capital A of the IT Act says, when you give data to bank cannot share it to second party. If they want to share it, they'll take your permission. You give permission, they share. You are given permission for second party, they can share it to third party. If you give permission, they can share it to third party. Cascading permission is not taken, it's gone. We did assignment with Bajaj Allianz and many insurance companies. We modified their proposal form. क्योंकि आप लोग प्रपोजल फॉर्म पढ़ते नहीं हो, हम साइन करते हैं, तो उसी में सब परमिशन ले लिया. ओके, सो दिस ऑल यू शुड नो. ओके, सो दिस इज योर राइट, द डेटा शुड नॉट बी, बट दिस इज नॉट इम्प्लीमेंटेड. लॉ है हमारे पास. पीपल कम इन वेरियस टेलीविजन, ऐसी पीपल से हमारे यहाँ लॉ नहीं है. लॉ है, आपको पता नहीं है. Awareness, see, India is a huge population, then diversity, language is an hindrance, understanding, education, awareness is happening. Abhi what I am doing right now. Awareness is happening, but it takes time. See, roti, kapda, makan is our first priority, right? Then comes law. See, when people come to us, none of you wants to come to a lawyer, right? You will like to come to me, very जोर से आती है ना, मतलब कब पुलिस ने फोन किया तभी we don't want you, then also will come. Okay, someone files a case on you, then you don't have time. You say आज ही मिलना है मेरे को. I have clients coming from Pune, Nasik, औरंगाबाद, रात को 12 बजे. सर आज ही आते हैं, आज ही आते हैं. कुछ नहीं होने वाला होता है कल, लेकिन सो नहीं सकेंगे ना. बट वो पहला आने को अभी मैं जितना से बोल रहा हूँ, the precautions can be taken. Okay, हाँ tell.
You are talking about permissions, but we have no choice. Sometimes we have to agree.
Great. Yes. The example of cloud, example of your mobile apps. we did some survey. There are 88% of apps which have all your controls. Your microphone, your both the cameras, your location, contacts, everything. Why do they need it? Why does a Truecaller app needs permission of your front camera? Okay, but they take it. Why? No awareness. No government policy. Okay, so it's slowly dripping. What?
Just one question. We were talking about the data privacy law. That means no one can leak out the data they've already captured.
Yeah, so we need to have controls for non-leakage.
Yeah. But is there a control on what you are capturing?
All that will come. So what has been captured? See, if you look at Aadhaar, I've come on various television shows talking on Aadhaar. Aadhaar is capturing more than what we want, right? I would have shown you a video where once Aadhaar gets linked, why there is furor for not linking of Aadhaar? Because when Aadhaar gets seeded, Aadhaar gets linked across all the platforms, your information is at one place. Okay, you call up a pizza person and tell him that, sir, please send me pizza and 2 Cokes. The pizza person can actually see from the system and say that, sir, you can't have Coke because you have been just diagnosed with diabetes. Because why? Your Aadhaar has been linked to your hospital checking and all everything. Okay. Yeah, and this is positive. Negative, so no. Ab bole, you order for 4 pizzas. She may say, sir, your bank balance doesn't show money for bank pizza, paying pizza money. Then he says, I'll pay by credit card. Then he'll say, sir, your credit card has been declined twice and the card which you are having right now is having outstanding of 10,000 rupees. And actually do that. Okay. You shout on the customer and the client service executive, and the client service executive says, you have an FIR registered against you for shouting on females and all this. This could be another offense if you try to do. Absolutely possible. You won't know. The state is trying to capture it all. Maharashtra Cyber, our state, yesterday I was looking at the papers. We are buying a software which will identify by all 3, voice, iris and by fingerprints to all the accused. We are all caught accused, okay. So, but you, yeah. Fundamental right. Yeah, agreed. Right. Yes. So privacy being declared as a fundamental right, Aadhaar has got some other angle to it now. Okay, the data in Aadhaar. So everybody is waiting for that. But see, what is happening is, before that, if government passes some laws, okay, then courts normally never interfere with manipulating the whole law. That's the level playing they're using. And the amount of investment which is gone in Aadhaar by linking everything, you know, now it will become a mammoth. Now take the other angle, forget everything. What has been collected, uska kya? Now the data is there. In the, my fight on one of the channels, NDTV I suppose, was, you know, this data has been captured, apna fingerprint वगैरह. There is one company, a CA, certifying authority in Mumbai. They had captured all the data which was for Aadhaar and kept in their own database. Aadhaar filed FIR on them. Agreed. अच्छा काम किया, FIR किया. They are no longer a CA. Certificate revoke हो गया. My question is, वो database कहाँ गया? Didn't they multiply the database? किया होगा ना? So that whole Aadhaar database is gone. Aadhaar cards. Reliance का आप Jio का कार्ड लेते हो तो कहाँ पे मिलता है? बनिया के पास. Okay, so where is all your data? So normally there are security things been built up, but the leakages are not been plugged. That's our issue. My issue is not with Aadhaar. My issue is with the security of it. Our issue should be So everybody in our country should get privacy aware. So coming back to same point, as a project manager, you need to see that this many amount of parameters are going to be in a public database. This many laws have been coming. Are we getting compliant? Are we thinking about it when the project is been planned? Are the legal risk being taken care of? Because till then, in India, when a startup or any projects have been made, we look at the output, we look at the investment, what we are getting, we look at the returns, what that project is going to get. Rarely we talk about legal risk, because यहाँ पे क्या है ना, India में अब तक, in US what happens, they'll first look at legal risk. They'll first consult lawyers. Why? Because if they go wrong, they know they're going to jail और पूरा पैसा चला जाएगा. In India, till now it was not happening, but now it should happen because of the laws getting dynamic. We going global, and we using IT and cyber as principal element of a project which we are using, any kind of project what you are using. Okay. With that, I think I'll stop, and I can give time for question answers. Any questions are welcome. MP3 download is also a crime. Very good question. Section 43B, read with section 66, clearly says anybody who downloads any kind of data without the permission of the owner in his hard disk or pen drive anywhere, up to 3 years, up to 5 lakhs. 3 years क्या? Jail. और 5 lakh penalty. Okay. So, yeah. Yes, there are convictions. One minute. Let me finish his. I should not leave him in lurch and with sub questions. He would immediately have a question, sir. वो songs.pk free में मिलते हैं, है ना? वो it is something like this कि you go to your nearest local market और वहाँ पे free में सोना बांट रहे हैं, तो आप लेंगे क्या? What is the way in your mind कि चोरी क्या है? ये भी चोरी का माल बेच रहे हैं. songs.pk जो बेच रहे हैं आपको दे रहे हैं फ्री में, इट इज चोरी का. तो चोर का आप जब माल लेते हो तो आप भी चोर है. दैट्स द थियरी. आई एम नॉट मेकिंग यू थीफ. ओके, सो इट्स कॉल्ड अबेटमेंट ऑफ क्राइम. हाँ बोलो चिंतन. सी वो कैच 50 सिचुएशन है अभी, कि आप नहीं दोगे आधार तो आपका काम लटका रहेगा. 1-2 जगह आप एक्टिविज्म कर सकते हो. बैंक में जाएंगे तो आप 2 और एविडेंस लेके जाओ, पासपोर्ट कॉपी और ले, तो वो उनके यहाँ टिक हो जाता है, ठीक है. बट कहीं तो वो लेते नहीं हो. जैसे आधार है, चलो इसके अंदर. सो इट इज बिकमिंग अ डिफैक्टो सोशल सिक्योरिटी काइंड ऑफ थिंग. तो हम लोग उससे आपको सरकार के साथ लड़ना है. कैसे लड़ेंगे? कितने लड़ेंगे? लड़ रहे हैं. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है. देयर आर आधार एक्टिविज्म. आई गो इन सो मेनी फोरम्स एंड टॉक अबाउट प्रॉब्लम्स इन आधार. हाउ कैन वी मेक इट स्ट्रॉन्गर? टेक टाइम. इंडिया बड़ा है. आप बोलोगे आधार नंबर जाएगा, तो नंबर तो ऑलरेडी लीक्ड है. आधार number is already leaked. Aadhaar number is not a secret. Okay, there are so many websites which carry Aadhaar numbers. They're leaked by government websites only. Supreme Court had to intervene and say you remove those numbers, take precautions. So Aadhaar number is leaked. मतलब मौत है. कब आएगी सोचना पड़ेगा उसके लिए. हाँ.
In visas and other entry points at various foreign countries, they take your
fingerprints,
thumbprint, as well as in some cases even the
iris. Yeah.
How the law protects that?
Okay. So law, those countries specific law, when we are visiting those countries, we need to follow the law of the land. That's a principal law. When he comes to India, he has to follow our law. That's why marine ka example you are seeing, no, those marines cases are going on because that's our law of the land. So when we go there and their external affairs has made a law that you need to give fingerprints, you have to give. As simple as this. Okay. In India, that's why they are coming up with the Aadhaar Act and all that. So once that act says you need to do it, you need to do it. Until that act is not clear, we were fighting in the Supreme Court. Come with guidelines, do this, do that. Okay. So, हाँ बोलो.
Okay, the question is with respect to contracts. You said that there are contracts need to be changed based on the new things coming in as in AI and all that. But speaking of government, the contracts are very huge and very long period contracts, something like 5 years, 7 years or more. Now, at that point in time, they wanted an IT system, but there were no such laws. Now the laws are in, or rather the awareness of the laws are in. So amending PSU contracts is a difficult thing. So how do you manage to incorporate those criteria in these contracts to protect yourself from that?
That way, it is a consulting question. But I'll answer you free. And Bill Chintan then. Okay. So there is something called as addendum, which every contract can be added to. Okay. So one option is this. Second is you can always pressurize when your AMC gets, renewed. Normally AMCs are getting renewed after every year. So when they come back with the bill, you can always add an addendum. Now please manage this so we clear the bill. Okay. This is not a legal way of doing it, but this is definitely a commercial way of approaching it. Okay. This thing can be done. Or a renovated agreement, obviously after 5 years, after 3 years, you need to keep ready day one. Okay, learning from the agreement is very important. So in India, incidentally, all our foreign vendors give us agreement. And those are huge agreements. And they'll say, oh, France ka aisa hi hai bhai, aisa hi karne padega. And then we, we are all loyal followers of all guras, हाँ aisa hi hoega karke. So हम लोग चिपक जाते हैं उसके बाद. So this has to change. This will change because we are giving them crores of rupees. Everybody wants a pie in India. Okay, you have to just raise your voice, take a confident legal guy with you and raise it. They abide. They find some way out of it. But until and unless you don't raise it, you're not done.
Can you do it in the middle of things?
Middle of thing can be done. Yes, yes. Novation of a contract can happen. Yes, it can happen. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to add to the other questions they had, like everywhere they ask your Aadhaar copy. Now they also, there have been several messages in WhatsApp circulating saying that you shouldn't sign.
Ah.
If you sign, then you should say use it for this purpose
Yeah.
only. Is that just a WhatsApp hoax or is that the truth?
Yeah. See, Aadhaar fraud has suddenly increased so much. Aadhaar linking ho gaya na, suppose that word linking has come in. So now social engineering frauds have started happening. People call up and say, Aadhaar linking ke liye humne bank se phone kiya. And then take your details, link it to somebody. You won't imagine Aadhaar enabled payment system, AEPS jo hai na, usme you heard this Mr. who's our Niti Ayog's no. Amitabh Kant. What was his word? That 3-4 years debit cards are going to vanish because of Aadhaar enabled payment system. What is Aadhaar enabled payment system? I put a fingerprint and authorize 10,000 to be transferred to her. Now the transfer is not from my bank to her bank. It is from my Aadhaar number to her Aadhaar number. Because Aadhaar is linked to my bank. You got a point? अभी मजा देखो, मैं आतंकवादी है ना, मुझे मालूम है she stays alone, I can put a gun point and take money from her bank account. What I do is, I use my Aadhaar number, okay, or X का Aadhaar number and transfer huge amount to her account. Now this X is a watched account, terrorist watched account. पैसा आया इनको, मैं इनसे पैसा निकाल लिया. मैं किधर पिक्चर में है, I'm not, वो लटकेगा. There are agencies who will come after. This is an issue. What you said is also right. Signing, for what you are signing, Aadhaar case may be, for what you are giving photocopy, it's a best practice to do it. Okay, it's not hoax. Ab karo, because I had cases where SIM cards have been issued based on this. आपके नंबर पे SIM card issue हो गया और वो किसी चोर ने यूज कर रहा है, 10-15 दिन यूज करेगा, फेंक देगा. बट दैट 10-15 दिन में अगर उसने क्राइम किया, पुलिस आपके घर आने वाला है कि आप ये समय से ये समय किधर था. सो यूज योर मोबाइल फोन्स वेरी केयरफुली, यूज योर डिजिटल वैलेट्स if you need to use very carefully. Use your credit cards very carefully. Just now I'm handling a case, she is a COO of a company, she has a young adult child. उसने क्या किया मालूम है, रात में वो पॉर्न देख रहा था. पॉर्न क्या होता है, आधा पॉर्न देखने के बाद दे से पे अस, बिकम मेंबर ऑफ अ क्लब. वो हड़बड़ी में उसने मम्मी का कार्ड यूज किया. इसके आगे का स्टोरी और डेंजर है. आफ्टर मंथ बिल आया, क्रेडिट कार्ड स्टेटमेंट. मम्मी के क्रेडिट कार्ड स्टेटमेंट में व्हाट वाज रिटन, XXX पॉर्न $80. एंड द चीफ अकाउंटेंट, तो CFO हैड सम ग्रज ऑन CEO, वो टॉप लेवल में ग्रज रहता ना, उसने सर्कल मार के लिख दिया, उसको भेज दिया वापस, प्लीज एक्सप्लेन. एक तो हंसने का है, दूसरा दुख भी है, ये आपके बच्चों के साथ भी हो सकता है. आपके मेरे किसी भी बच्चों के साथ हो सकता है. ओके, बी केयरफुल अबाउट योर मोबाइल फोन्स, योर लैपटॉप्स, योर ऑल IT based things what you are carrying. Can suddenly, if it happens on you, you become serious. If it happens in your family, you become serious. But if you are known, why to make it happen? That's my point. Thank you for listening to me. You are a great audience. Thank you.
It's time for the break. Let's meet again sharp at 14:22:20 after the break. Yes, 20.
Did you? Good to hear that. So we are ready for another session, and it's going to be a very interesting session. We have some esteemed guests from another country, and they are going to be presenting the session on the topic maintaining continuity in disruption. I request you all to settle down, switch off your mobile phone or keep them in silent mode. And if you have your friends outside, I would request you to call them inside for the session to begin. Let's take a minute to settle down and then we can start with the session. The topic is maintaining continuity in disruption. And let's have a moment to switch off your mobile phone or put them in the silent mode. Last 10 minutes of the session are reserved for question and answer. Some setup is being done. We'll start with the session just after the setup is done. Meanwhile, you can call your friends inside. I want to introduce the first speaker, Noriyasu Sugimura-san. He's the PMP, is director at PMI Japan chapter. He is designated as Principal Program Manager, Enterprise Services Division in Microsoft Corporation. He has 20 plus years of experience in project and program managing, and he has delivered many complex delivery projects till date. In Asia, Pacific, and Japan, he has been in India for 6 years now, from 1996 to 2002 at Delhi and Chennai. Yes, request you to come in and settle down. So let's applaud for Noriyasu Sugimura-san. We also have with us Kentaro Sakamoto-san, PMP. He works for Suzuyu Shinwatt Corporation in Japan as an IT infrastructure engineer for 15 years. Currently, he is an operation manager of an advanced data center stationed in Tokyo. He also has been a member of PMI Japan and PMI Indonesia for years. He's currently the chairperson of International Relationship Community of PMI Japan, contributing multicultural and international network both inside and outside of PMI Japan. Let's give a huge round of applause to Kentaro Sakamoto-san. And he's joined by Kenichiro Sugiya-san, MSc MBA PMP, who's an experienced project manager with a particular strength in implementing technical cooperation projects, especially in infrastructure, water supply, and sanitation, and SMEs development projects in more than 50 countries. He now works as a senior researcher at International Development Center of Japan, is also one of the founder member of IRC PMIJ. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a huge round of applause to Kenichiro Sugiya-san. And please keep the applause going as I introduce the fourth speaker, Rajiv Supekar-san. He's BTech, he is PMP, he works as a key PMO member of domestic as well as overseas infrastructure projects, renewable energy, railway, power plants, etc. for Toyo, Japan. Resident of Japan for 22 plus years, he is a member of IRC PMIJ for over 10 years now. He has contributed to steering social projects for Indians in Japan. He desires to bring India, Japan closer in all possible ways and in all spheres of work and life. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a huge round of applause for one last time to all the speakers from Japan. And over to you, gentlemen, for the presentation.
Okay. Good afternoon. Is it working? It's working? Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And
Mike.
mic is not. Working? Working? Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And Nandri and Vanakkam. Still not working? Oh. Should be keep on my hand. Is working? Working? Okay. And we were Nandri and Vanakkam. And as she explained, I have been in India for 6 years, from the 1996 to the 2002, to act as a It's okay? Okay? Perfect? Okay? Okay. And yeah, from 1996 to the 2002 in Delhi and Chennai. And I'm just before starting my presentation, I have the big thanks to the PMI Mumbai chapter to give us such a good opportunity to share our experience, to explain how we handling the distribution in Japan, especially in case of the nature disasters. I think that is a good topics to you to learn something from our experience. And in addition, please allow me to my big thanks and honor and happiness to be here, because I spent 6 years in India, so that's why we landed the Mumbai airport last night, and just the time we landed, I feel very, very comfortable, such like feeling back to my home. Because I see a lot of the people say TK and Achar, something, right? It's a very familiar with, and I'm very happy to see that. And today, as I explained, I would like to share some topics based on our experience, what happened in Japan, especially from the experience on the nature disasters. And we came here by 4 people, as she explained, and Rajiv-san, Sakamoto-san, and Sugaya-san. And I take the first session of this presentation to explain our approach to continually the project in the circumstance of the description. And I hand over to Sakamoto-san to explain some of the statistics or some of the specific activities, what happened in PMI Japan chapters. Okay. And today we cover those topics. First, I would like to explain the scale, large-scale nature of distribution in Japan. I think a lot of people remember that what happened in the 2011 in the northeast areas in Japan. It's a big earthquake. It's what happened, and that is the biggest, the disruption experience for almost Japanese people. And we have learned a lot based on the accident or the disasters. And second point is the response to distributions. That is a very good point, how we respond to such a big accident. And second is shift. Because distribution is, as you know, that we are not able to forecast when it happened. Probably some people know might happen, but a lot of people don't know when it happened. So that's why we are not able to avoid such big natural disasters, but we have to think how we recover from such a circumstance to back to normal. So that's why we said shift. And maintaining. Maintaining is super important. I would like to use some other the cases which we call the bullet train. I think some people have been in Japan and try to take a bullet train. We call the Shinkansen. That is a very good explain. That is a very good, the explain and an opportunity to explain the how Japanese people considering about the distributions and the importance of the business continuity. And last point, the PMI Japan approach. I would like to hand over to the Sakamoto-san to explain this point. Okay, distribution points. This is a list of some cases of the distributions. The first bullet is the natural disasters. Second one is the man-made. And how many people of them have you experienced those natural disruptions here? I think that we have a lot. Okay, in Japan, we have everything. We have everything. And in Japan, probably high heat, okay, high heat in the summer season is one candidate of some descriptions. And of course, we are not able to complete this list, but especially here, man-made distribution, we are not able to complete those lists, right? For example, design flow, the strikes, Bitcoin, Netflix, there are a lot of cases which happen due to the man-made reasons. And this is probably kidding, but in India, I had something very interesting news about the distribution or the issue may happen in the company managing director in Mumbai, right? I had some news between the company with the NTT data. Do you know that? Between Tata and the NTT data, it's happened. Sometimes happen in the corporate management director rooms. And of course, the fire, this is due to the both cases. Of course, the wildfire may happen. Some almost 2 or 3 weeks in California, they have a very, very huge wildfire. It's burning almost more than 1 month. And of course, some the mistaken by the human made. For example, the people threw the cigarette on the forest, gets a fire. So that's why the fire probably become from the 2 reasons. And why distraction cannot be ignored. For example, the natural cases, as I told you, we are not avoid because it's happened in the naturals. We can focus probably, but we are not avoid, or even we are not able to avoid. Okay? And human made, of course, this is human being, right? Human made mistakes, intentionally, unintentionally, whether human made a mistake. Okay? And second point, I'm look after the biggest in my life, the biggest natural disaster, what happened on the 11th March 2011. The magnitude, huge scale, magnitude 9.0, 9.1 scale, the earthquake is hit the northeast areas of Japan mainly. But please remember that this earthquake shaking entire 4 big land of Japan, everything. But the biggest damage, it happened in the northeast areas in Japan. We call it Tohoku. Please remember as Tohoku. Tohoku meaning northeast areas of Japan. Okay? And earthquake it happened. As you can see, the 3 cascading disposition has been happened in this case. First, earthquake. Second, tsunami. I think a lot of people seen some of the videos, the news, or YouTube's what happened in the city by the tsunami. But tsunami, we called, is hitting the land from the sea. And as you can see, the most dangerous thing is hikinami, we called. It is sending the water to the sea. When the tsunami hitting the city, the sea water broke everything, everything. Of course, that is dangerous, but more dangerous is hikinami. The reason why the hikinami is put everything into the sea. The garbage, okay, cars, structures, of course people, of course animals, everything. They threw into the sea. That is huge disaster. And the third one is the Fukushima Daiichi. I think everybody knows. That is nuclear power plant incident. Okay? The three cascading, the distribution is happened in 11th due to the earthquake on the 11th March 2011. First two, earthquake and tsunami, is the natural disasters. We are not able to avoid. But third thing, Fukushima Daiichi, of course, the main cause of the Fukushima Daiichi is earthquake. But please remember that by earthquake, the electric power generation reactor does not have any damages. And tsunami, of course, they're hitting the tsunami, tsunami hitting to the reactors, but reactor does not have any damages. But by the design, the engineer does not consider about the fraud errors. For example, seawater come into the power plant, and power backup system is shut down. Okay, that's why we call the Fukushima Daiichi is the human-made errors. We learned a lot from these cases. So which meaning we are not able to avoid, but we probably avoid these cases in the futures based on this experience. And from after the 11th March 2011, I went to the Tohoku areas for 4 times as a volunteer to collect the garbages. And this is shot I took at the time. Guess how much stories here? Which stories? They are buildings, right? One car is inside the windows. Yes, which level? 2. Yes, 5. It's a 5 stories building. On the top level, one car is here, which meaning car, the water level increasing more than here. It's very, very big tsunami is hitting here, these areas. And this is one the PMI Japan. Yes. Oh, okay. This is one news. It is issued in the PMI Today in June 2011. This big incident in Japan, the disaster in Japan is a very, very big news. And at the time, the PMI headquarters announced it to the all over the world, to the project management community. You can see this topic in the PMI, the PMI ORJ, the PMI headquarters world website. But the main topics on these pages is that project management scheme and skills and knowledge, of course the PMBOK, can be used to recover the situation from the disaster. So which meaning, recovery project itself is kind of the project can be covered by the PMBOK. So to be honest, we called some other project, the methodologies, but PMI headquarters provides some special sets of the body of knowledge to recover such natural disaster specialty. So if you have any interesting, you can go to the PMI headquarters, the website, and you can seek some programs. I think PMMD or something like that. That is a designated program on body of knowledge to recover such natural disasters. Okay, and this is the time to explain, what's the recovery project for the disruption can be covered, the PMBOK defined processes. I think everybody knows that risk estimation, preparation, that is the beginning of the project management. And second, damage management is the execution part. And third, recovery is the sustainable, and the future improvement is more, the improvements or improvements. But based on the experience of such a big, the disruption in Japan, we never forget about the between 1 and 2. We, as the project management or project manager role, need to consider that distribution probably happen. Of course, the scale of the disruption may be changed, but disruption will happen. So that's why, when you're planning or you're executing, or when you look for the future of the project, or you, as a project management role, everybody should consider about this point during the executions. And of course, PMBOK will cover these areas. They call, for example, the contingency plan. I think everybody understanding the contingency plan. This contingency plan is for the backup or recovery when the identified risk it happened, right? But for example, the natural disaster what we have in 2011, we are not able to say that the recovery plan is kind of the contingency plan, right? That is the recovery project from the disaster circumstance to back to the normal. So that's why I think the scale probably is different between the contingency plan and the recovery plan. But as I mentioned before, disruption will happen during the project. Okay, from the morning session, all speakers says, disruption is not unusual now. It's usual. Some people say risk, some people say incident, some people say issue. Whatever, disruption is happening. We need to consider about that point. And this is some kind of the graph to explain the Japanese government about the electric power supply. You can see a lot of colors, right? Before 2011, actually this is information from the 2009. For example, the nuclear power plant is covered 29% of the electric in Japan. Almost 1/3, 1/4, very huge numbers. And before March of the 2011, Japanese government and a lot of the commercial company consulting to increasing the number of the nuclear power plants in Japan to supply the electric power to the Japan markets. There are several reasons. Of course, inexpensive. If we are not considering about how we handling the garbage of the nuclear power plants, I think a lot of people know that in terms of the cost to generate the electric, the nuclear power plant is very, very cheap because the uranium is long run and they have very, very high power to boiling the water to make the turbine spin. And of course, the power plant can use more than 40 years. Okay, so that's why from landing perspective, the nuclear power plant is very cheap. But I think everybody knows that in humankind is not find what's the best way to dispose the garbage of the nuclear power plant as of today. For example, in the Swedish, they drill down the 1 kilometer tunnel on the ground, they dispose it. Right? Not just dispose it. Because we don't have any, the way to slow how the nuclear plant garbage as of today. Okay, and third point, niche technology, and 4 is overseas markets. I think for example, the Toshiba is a very famous company in Japan, the leading company in terms of the nuclear power plant, the engineering development. And they, of course, from commercial point of view, they would like to sell a lot of the products in terms of the nuclear power plant reactors to the overseas. So that they have a lot of competitors all over the world. And of course, for example, if we want to purchase the nuclear reactors from Japan, not only Japan, from the other countries or another, another suppliers, I think a lot of people asking, do you have a lot of experience to build the nuclear power plant before? So that's why in Japan government leading to construct the nuclear power plant in Japan, of course, to supply the electric power to the city, but also to improving the skill and knowledge to build the nuclear, the reactors. And what happened after 2002 March? Only 2% of the nuclear power plant is working, and only 2% of the electricity usage is covered by the nuclear power plant. And now we shift to the renewable energies from those points. You can see this graph. I think it's very small to the back audience. But blue areas, okay, this is hydro. It's stabilized. But you can see these areas is dramatically increasing. These yellow areas, not the yellows areas. This explains the growth of the solar power plants. So now, not only for the Japanese government, but also every citizen of the Japanese people understanding that nuclear power plant is okay if that's safe, but nobody knows that is safe as of today. So that's why instead of using or increasing the power plant of the nuclear reactors, they are focusing, we decided focusing on to develop the more renewable systems, renewable energy systems, especially for the solar power. Okay, this is one explanation that we try to explain why government and the citizen is to try to move from the nuclear power to the renewable energies. This is the template of the electric bill in Japan. There are a lot of numbers, but now I would like to focusing on these areas. I'm sorry, this is Japanese, but they charge some amount to every users for monthly electric bill renewable energy fee. Even though they use renewable energy or not, government and the power, the electric power company is collecting the money from all the users to improve escalate the speed of the development of the solar system, especially. Okay, and I think that is only 3 digits. I think that is a very small money for the individuals. But guess how much the government is collecting money yearly from users per year through this program? It's very huge. Approximately at least 300 million US dollars per year. Okay? Of course, this money is being used to investigate, development, and establish the renewable energies ecosystems. Of course, renewable ecosystem is very complicated. I will explain the type of those energies. But to running, the goal of this scheme is increasing the coverage of the electricity, which supplied by the renewable energy plants. Okay, that is a big program. So that's why to carry out this kind of the big project or program, the equity of the foreign fund will be required, the of the local banks is required, and of course, experts and consultants should be must in the project and the program. And of course, engineer, finance, and professional is be required to carry out this kind of the very program in Japan. So this is this is just the surface of this program, but behind of this bill, a lot of project management and program management are happened to carry out the programs to achieve more to enabling the more the renewable energy in Japan. Okay. I told you that at least $300 million is collected from each of the users to run those projects. And this is a typical type of the renewable energy project. We can divide it for example, the 5 areas: wind farm, geothermal, and solar, hydro, and biomass. And as you can see the graph, just 2 pages before, in Japanese government and citizens focusing on here now. It's very focusing on. And now, Toyo Engineering Corporation, this is the site of such a project is happened. And I would like to introduce the Rajiv-san, who is coming here. And he's working for